Not on paper, but I'm checking on the news feed. Just call me Israel, new season with a new breed. One vindication from the nation, so when you...
Alright, man, you're in the field. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. We're here with GA3. Shot-town in the building. How y'all doing, man? How's everything with you guys, man? Did y'all drive or?
No, we flew.
Oh.
Can't take that.
Yeah.
I barely took the flight, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything longer than 3 hours in the car, I'm just like,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not enough snacks.
That's crazy.
Sunflower seed.
Have y'all performed yet?
Yeah, we just got off the stage.
Okay.
Y'all don't look like it? Dang.
We
Well,
wiped.
you
gotta wipe down.
Yeah, okay.
So they had to wipe it down. I'm straight.
That's funny.
Yeah, who was it that performed yesterday came in and was like all out of breath? Oh, you weren't here.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to answer. He got the mic like, oh.
I thought he was going to say that was me.
He did. So, man, well, first of all, man, we just want to say definitely a blessing and appreciate you guys sitting down for the show and listening too. You said you listened to some of the shows.
I do. I be at work. I should be working, but I be on YouTube.
Yeah.
One of the things I watch is.
I hope they're not listening.
Yeah.
You gonna get that call like, oh.
We said the same thing.
You fired.
We made a mistake and said the same thing one day. So.
For real.
Yeah. I do listen. I be trying to chime in, but obviously y'all can't hear what I say.
Well, you know what? You can comment on YouTube.
And
tweet it in, yeah. But are you listening live or are you listening to the podcast?
Podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So what are some of your comments?
Well, one of the main ones that I wanted to talk about, because y'all was talking about the saga, the whole rap.
Yeah, you know, 3PFD is here. You saw the video? Yeah, we talked to him too.
For real? Okay,
yeah.
That's dope. But because y'all was saying like should Christians, rap out?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a sticky situation, but when you watch like what the saga does, it's so dope. Like he'll take stuff. Like they would say, like, oh, so you play like you got gunplay, huh? Like you out with guns. You probably don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll take the stuff that they would say and use it against them, and it's so dope.
That's
and I think it's what I mean. And people know it. He's unashamed about it. He'll tell everybody he's a Christian. They know it. They come at him with it, but he's still getting at them, and it's crazy.
Yeah, like I said on the show, I'm new to it. These guys are the experts on it, and I didn't know anything about Christian, non-Christian, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm learning slowly, and I saw a couple Christians battle, man. They fearless, man.
Yeah. This dude Lowe's, who's from Florida.
Is dope.
He's amazing, bars on bars. And he finna start battle rapping too.
That's awesome.
Did you happen to catch the freestyle battle yesterday between
3PFD and Jen were going back and forth.
Oh, we got. Was going somebody outside today too.
I've been going since he got here.
Oh my God.
It was Jen, who was the other cat?
Man, what was the dude's name? He from Atlanta.
It was another cat out there. They
Enlightened or something?
City Takers or something.
Oh, okay. Enlightenment from City Takers. Okay.
They freestyled to 4 tracks.
Oh wow.
4 tracks, all off the top of the head, and then they
went
they stopped the tracks and did beatbox. The script came up and did beatboxes.
Man.
It was amazing. It was like straight hip hop, just like it was incredible.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I got it.
Yeah, how y'all feel about the art of the freestyle? Because I remember last year I was talking to KJ, and he's like big on old school freestyle. I'm not a freestyler. I'm not good at it. And he was like, man, I got to keep it going because new cats, they don't know how to do it. I'm like, I apologize.
I'm sorry. I like the whole hip hop flavor of it because when I was in college, like I actually joined a group. It was called Underground Arts, and it was deeply rooted in the 4 elements of hip hop. DJing, breakdancing, MCing, and graffiti. So it was like deeply rooted into that stuff. And we used to watch that stuff all the time in meetings, just sit down and have a little powwow talking about different artists and then pull them up and watch them. And to see that style, I'm all for it. I wish I could do it. Like my brother said earlier, like you give me a pen, I could probably do something. But I cannot, off the top of my head, just go.
Give me a pen.
I'm a writer, and my brain goes faster than my mouth, and I think that's a lot of the thing.
Exactly.
But what I promise him is that the new generation, we gonna start working on it to make sure we can keep up with the old one. Cause I'm a writer too, man. I love sitting down and really thinking through what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But we gotta get that skill in there too.
But yeah, all I do is when they do that, I just go in there and just start
find you a written.
spitting the stuff I wrote. So
exactly.
And it is.
Just slow down a couple parts, make
Call it
it
freestyle. Call it freestyle. Be like, I just thought about this 2 seconds ago.
One of the things I love hearing is I love when families come together and they share in the same art. With you two being brothers, who influences who? Who started up first? Like, who's the one that said, you know what, this is something we need to do. We need to make it our craft. Like, out of the two of you,
it was me, and then the bigger brother just followed.
Oh,
no, I'm just playing.
So funny. I ain't gonna lie. In my mind, I was like, he's gonna say something crazy.
Definitely. You know, as the little brother, you want to tag along with the big brother all day, every day.
How many years difference?
3.
Okay.
So it's not really. We in the same age group, but not really.
It's not like you pulled him into your generation and was like, yo, you.
Nah, but I used to want to do everything like he was involved in because that was the connection I felt we had. And when he started off, like we said, we started off in the church. Like it was a step group.
Okay.
And it was like 13 of us.
Oh wow.
And then we would step and then rap.
So all 13.
But we're in a traditional church now.
Very conservative, bunch of old people.
Yeah, so they're losing their minds. Like, bruh, is this another 16 bars? What?
And then you would have vets that would write like 24. Every time.
And then there was a bunch of old people, so we couldn't have like real.
Can you say seasoned saints? You know,
a bunch of old people.
But
So we had like Dear Mama and Crossroads. Like, it was like, oh, they kind of smooth, so we can rap over that.
They opened up for John P. Key a couple of months ago, and that was like.
It was interesting. The crowd is like, they brought us there because we performed for the youth the week before. They were like, okay, we need something for the youth. We didn't see no youth when we were there, and everybody there was for P. Key, so they like, you know, like that concern, like what is this, you know what I mean? But you know, you still gotta go.
But that's why we definitely like. I know me personally, like I lean on my brother, like because he definitely has that ear and he definitely has that knowledge through shout out to Percy Gray because training and he was sitting up there like, you gotta sit there, you gotta look at the audience that you have, and you have to create music that is for everybody.
Exactly.
And he gives. That's the one thing I can say about him, where we all kind of just take the lead. He gives him that ear. Where we just be like, well, I want kind of hip hop beat. He was like, no, we gotta touch everybody. So just in case we want to do this song, now we got the seasoned saints. They can come in just off this little organ that's just playing.
Chicago's real like heavy gospel. When you get the
tradition, gospel,
you know,
man.
traditional gospel.
It's one of the
it was the
founders
birthplace
of gospel.
Birthplace.
Wow, man.
So it's funny because you know, we noticed that you can't just be performers. You know what I mean?
No.
You have to know the audience. You have to know the surroundings. You can't just go out and perform on stage. You got to know that area. So that's really important.
You know what's crazy though? But all three of us bring a different dynamic to the group. Like Vincent, of course, you see how he came in. He said, "Yo, I watch y'all on YouTube." Right? I'm a gospel rapper that doesn't listen to rap.
Okay. I'm glad you admitted that, because
we have
that. We always get tested with that question, and then we never hear anybody actually.
I don't listen to rap. So this is all this is new to me. All of this is new to me.
Wow.
So this is where I take a step back and follow his lead because he knows this circuit. So it's for us. It's really about being humble and letting each other and knowing our place as individuals, because you know. A team looks really good when everybody looks like the leader. So if all three of us look like a leader, all three of us
tweet that. That was a dope.
The team looks good.
I just follow their lead. Like I'm a follower of the group.
Well, we follow him because he's the DJ.
But let me ask you this: how do you do that though? Like, how do you? What? Okay. This is my first question. What do you listen to? And then 2, how do you say, okay, we need, because it sounded like he was saying that you kind of do the production or look at production. How do you find like production? Like, because sometimes, okay, I'm gonna be real. With our industry, we kind of look at what's banging in the mainstream to be like, okay, we need drill beats, we need trap beats. So like, how do you balance that? Because that's, to me, not listening to the culture, not knowing the culture, but still being relevant is kind of.
I'm not gonna say I don't completely listen to it. I'm just not a rap head.
Okay.
I'm not that guy. However, listening to that stuff and then going against it, that's what I do. I try to go against. See, it's real trappy out there, and there's nothing wrong with trap music. I actually enjoyed myself all weekend.
Turn up.
Yes, for real. The problem is if everybody's doing that, who's going to do something different? That's what I try to do, something different. I want to bring all the styles together: trap, gospel, R&B, pop. Bring it all together. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. And then you got all that in one. Everybody can enjoy it. We got a song called "Grateful." Shout out to Percy Gray again. Do you guys know who Percy Gray is?
His name sounds familiar.
He's a
Chicago man, New Direction.
He founded all those groups, right? We sang in a choir in his choir, Joshua's True.
Yeah.
And Percy came out to our first concert, our very first concert, and he heard this song we had. It's called Grateful. Percy is 50 plus. He's 50. He was at our concert with his hands lifted like all the young people. Later, he came, I saw him in rehearsal, he told me, dude, I want that song.
Wow.
I had to take the song, I had to flip it and make it choir and give it to him. They're going to release it as one of their singles or something. Or it's definitely going to be on their album. So we have to, I tell the fellas all the time, we got to make music for everybody, not just for you, because we're not going to go to you. We in Chicago. Birthplace of gospel music, traditional gospel music. If we get invited to Yolanda Adams concert, Yolanda Adams crowd is going to be there. We need this song to do that. Now we get invited here, that's where we bring out all our trap and ratchet.
I'm the rebel. I feel like the best thing I've ever heard is the best type of performer you need to be is a transformer. And that's just because you gotta, like I said, know your crowd, and that's what he has. Me personally, I'm the rebel. I just want to do turn up songs all day. I'm fresh out of college.
Jump off the stage. I told dude,
I'm fresh out of college, so I mean,
jump off the stage and the crowd goes, "What you doing here?"
My thing is, I like to have fun. Like, I'm a very energetic person. Like, I don't pay attention. Like I was telling Vince, we got on the stage, dude. I blacked out. I hope I didn't do too much. I blacked out.
That's funny. You know what's so funny? I was just thinking about that. Like, I'm sure being in a traditional, like Chicago being traditional gospel, and y'all do stuff, and somebody like stop the music. That ever happened to y'all?
No, one person. We had a church in Chicago. We did the church in Chicago, and they invited us to a Stop the Violence rally. And we thinking like it's gonna be a huge crowd. Everybody stop the violence. So we like, cool. We get there. The crowd is like 12 people, and they're all seasoned saints. I'm talking
inside
50,
the church. It's
50
like,
plus.
If it's a Stop the Violence, then you expect it to be outside.
What y'all doing in here?
I'm talking 60 and over. And while we're rapping, they're playing the music. A lady gets up. It's like a mother of the church almost. Gets up, goes to the musicians. It was like, can y'all play a little silently? I can't hear.
No. What she said was, y'all sound good, but can y'all stop? Can y'all stop playing? This is the thing about that particular thing we did. We had it was a 30-minute set. So imagine the music we had, because we incorporate all styles of arts in our music. Right. I dance too, so I had my dancers with me. We got the band with us. We didn't have background.
No, we didn't have background.
We didn't have background singers this time. We get ready to rap. We got a set goes song. Don't stop. We got a 30-minute set, and there's 12 people here, and everybody got a cane.
We actually did.
The canes in the air.
We actually did. And when I say we, I'm not talking about myself. I'm not FMG. These guys and the other guys you see in the room, they're FMG. And they actually did a Stop the Violence youth rally in Atlanta earlier this year. And it was kind of the same thing. It was a bunch of seasoned saints. We had some kids in there, but the seasoned saints outnumbered the kids.
We just made them get up and jump.
We had a 30-minute set.
I was talking to
that's what you gotta do.
I was talking to this guy named Hector today, and I told him, dude, you can't be fearful. If somebody invites you somewhere, they saw you, so they obviously know what you do. So do what you do. If you get invited to a senior citizen's home, make them put their hands up.
See, I say, like, why he says that, this is why I'm the rebel, because I be like, okay, so since we gonna do what we do, let's do the songs like kind of like what we did today. He's like, nah, see, that's a little far.
That's some wisdom.
You still stay your style, but you gotta incorporate.
If you have a diverse enough catalog, you should be able to pull the right things out.
Definitely.
When we're putting together shows, we go through that same thing, and it was somebody actually at that show that got us to open up for John P. Key. So it was like,
there's things that'll come out
How
of it.
How was the John P. Key?
It was amazing, man. We did 2 of our songs. We did the best we could. We could tell that they were, why are y'all rapping? You know what I'm saying? Where's John at? You know what I mean? But it was good. I think they understood. They appreciated what we were there for, and there were a few kids in there. We brought them to the front, and they enjoyed themselves. So it's all good,
I love
man.
John P.
and we took the band. We took we had a keyboardist,
we had a band behind us, and
drummer.
everything. It was fun, man.
I think a drummer and I think a band is the best thing. That
It sounds so good, man. Because
we
we had it planned to where they played the track and they would just play to it. But we just was like, yo, y'all sound good. Just cut the track. Just do it. And they killed it, man. And then some of the band, because the band was there to play for John P. Key.
Right.
But they were feeling the music so much that the other people started jumping in too.
Do you guys know who some of the band who some people were?
From them, I don't. They were dope though. They were really good.
That's Chicago for you though.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all having it. It's an honor having y'all, man. Thank you for sitting with us.
It's an honor being here.
We gotta get you in on the show, man. If you want to comment,
Right.
We're gonna call in or something.
So what do you think for line? What do you think about line for line?
What do you mean, just in general?
Do you understand the concept of it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
I
what's
do. I do.
That's what.
I mean, I get it.
Okay.
You know, I think sometimes.
I'm waiting on him to talk. He just, I get it. He's going on.
Yeah, like 5 minutes in his head. Which one did I pick?
I think some of the tracks that y'all like pit against one another is like, come on, like you. Like, ain't no way that's gonna be better than that. You know what I mean?
But we love that. That's part of the competition because if people listening, they like, okay, we even have a way, honestly. You can go on, you can pick every track. You can set up your own master.
Word.
Yeah. So let people know if you you can put in each song from both sides, and we'll do it just like you said. It's the fan edition. We do that every now and then too.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
So it was, I can't remember which one it was.
He's the one who creates them. So
it was like a Jay-Z track, and it was like an old Lecrae song. I'm like, come on, man, like Lecrae wasn't like he was dope back then.
And sometimes we have rules. Like sometimes it's all current, sometimes it's catalog.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
If you do catalog, it's kind of wavy because a lot of people, you know, back
they weren't
in the day
ready yet. They weren't ready yet.
And see, yesterday we got called out by the Truth.
Word.
Yeah, and so the Truth was like saying the same thing, and D-Mob too. And so
how come you didn't play this track?
Right.
I could have killed him with this one.
Exactly.
It was funny.
And having done almost over 100 of these, probably, I understand Jeremiah when he's trying to match up feelings. So he'll try to match a song that feels, you know, like it goes, and then you might find out that the Jay-Z feeling song is newer than the Lecrae feeling song that's older. So we try to do, and then the whole line for line thing I always explain it is that if you're getting ready to sit down and present, you know, the Christian hip hop gospel to somebody and you're giving them line for line, does the Christian artist stand up to the secular artist? And if not, where do we need to fix that? You know, but I feel like we all feel like we've arrived to that point where you know, the explanation isn't really necessarily needed anymore.
Swoop about killing anybody.
He's a beast.
We did this showcase. We did the House of Hope, and Donald Lawrence and the Clark sisters. Were there or whatever. They were it was a showcase, and they judged our talents on how we did or whatever. And Donald said this out of his own mouth. He said, Dorinda Clark Cole told us our ministry is for outside of the four walls of the church. So we already know what that means, right? Yeah. Donald Lawrence said, I thought you guys did amazing. I just think gospel rap is new to the church right now. But it's coming. He said this out of his own mouth. He said, the fact that Donald Lawrence knew Lecrae was going to be on Jimmy Fallon that night, because Lecrae was going to be on Jimmy Fallon that night, that shows that gospel rap is making, gospel hip hop is making an impact. And he said it's coming whether the church likes it or not. And and soon there'll be a day where we'll just have to accept it. In my mind, that's like 4th Sundays, somebody's gonna be singing the Lecrae song. That's crazy.
I seen a young lady, she had a guitar and she was singing Jesus music. She had an acoustic guitar singing and doing them verses. Look it up on YouTube.
I gotta see that.
Music evolves, man, and as music evolves, we have to evolve with it.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Listen, I heard you singing, bro.
Well, man, this has been one of the livest interviews we've had this evening, man. We really appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys sitting in with us and sharing your hearts and your ministry and your passion. Absolutely. Please continue to watch.
I will.
Comment on YouTube. You know, we're gonna read.
Put them on, man.
Vincent's job. Vincent actually does work. You need to be putting this disclaimer out for that. You fired, son.
We in the same page.
You still gonna dig it?
Well, you know what? We really didn't get a chance to talk to you all about like individual projects and projects, period. But you guys can tell us where we can find music, where the listeners can find the music.
For sure. Well, a year ago, we dropped our first album. It's called Alternative Lifestyle. It's pretty much about the life cycle of a Christian. How you start off on fire for the Lord, you kind of go down the slumps. You know, God, you know, brings you up out of that. So that's been out for a year. So we've just been doing those songs. We just got back in the studio working on some new material.
Okay.
But we are doing individual like mixtapes. I put out one a few months ago. It's called The Re-Up. Going to like some of my favorite beats.
Okay.
Kinda,
You all sound just like us.
Yeah,
y'all on the same path. We gotta collab at some point.
Our album came out in what, December 10th? It was on Rapzilla. Then we started performing all the songs off the album. So yeah.
We love it.
But thank you, man. We really appreciate it, man. Awesome sitting down with you all. Can we get a drop from you all?
For sure.
Okay.
So just say your name.
Can I say this though? He didn't say where you can find the music.
Website and all that.
Definitely, you can find our music on GA3.com. Spell out the 3, GA3. If you don't know how to spell it, that's THREE. It would have been messed up if I spelled that wrong. But it would have been terrible. I wouldn't have said that. But definitely, you want to look us up on you can look us up on Facebook, Gideon's Army, or GA300. Also follow us on Instagram. What's that? Instagram.
All our social stuff is on our website.
GA300.
Y'all know about that.
If you go to our website, you will find all that information.
There you go.
Awesome. Network being no fruit, but then I look at via social network, they quoting A.W. Tozer, all these different scholars. Like, man, come on, let's really be real. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, yeah, the social network, but you ain't man fishing till you know your net worth. All into the world, gotta make his name.